the colored cations in solution. We have copper 2 plus ions, which are blue. Fe3 plus ions, which are pale yellow. And Fe2 plus ions, which are pale green. So we're going to run the same series of tests as we did with the colored cations, where we're going to use sodium hydroxide solution, and on a fresh sample, aqueous ammonia solution. So we have sodium hydroxide, which we're going to add to the copper 2 plus ions, dropwise, and we see we have a lovely blue precipitate there. So now we have to see if this blue precipitate will dissolve in excess sodium hydroxide. It does not. So the blue precipitate does not dissolve in excess sodium hydroxide. So now we're going to use aqueous ammonia on a fresh sample of copper 2 plus ions. So we add dropwise, so just a little at first, and we see that blue precipitate there. Blue precipitate. So now we're going to see if this blue precipitate dissolves in excess. So we'll add more. And we see what's happening. Let's pour some of this. The blue precipitate is dissolving to give a deep blue solution. Right. So in excess aqueous ammonia, your blue precipitate dissolves in excess to give a deep blue solution. So now we're moving on to the iron 3 plus ions. So dropwise sodium hydroxide. There we have our rust brown precipitate. Let's see if it dissolves in excess. It does not. So now we're going to use a fresh sample of iron 3 plus, we're going to add aqueous ammonia. Once again, dropwise, we see the same rust brown precipitate. Let's see if it dissolves in excess. It does not. So now we're moving on to our Fe2 plus ions in solution. So we're going to add dropwise sodium hydroxide solution. So just a little bit at first to see if we're going to get precipitate formed. There we have that precipitate. We describe it as a dirty green precipitate. What's happening in excess? We see that it is not dissolving in excess sodium hydroxide. So we put this here and let it stand. Now we're going to run the aqueous ammonia test on a fresh sample of iron 2 plus ions. Once again, we get our dirty green precipitate. And in excess aqueous ammonia, it does not dissolve. If we let these precipitates stand for a little while, we will see that some of the dirty green precipitate is going to turn to a rust brown color. And it's starting to happen here. The first test, the top is turning rust brown. What is that?